Chapter 1: The Seeds of Dissent. Prelude to Rebellion. Political grievances. One of the primary sources of discontent was the perceived erosion of colonial political rights. The British government had gradually tightened its control over the colonies, limiting their autonomy and self-governance. This was particularly evident in the imposition of new taxes, and the establishment of a standing army in the colonies. The Stamp Act of 1765, which imposed a tax on all printed materials, sparked widespread outrage among the colonists. They argued that the tax was unconstitutional because it had been imposed without their consent. The colonists organized protests and boycotts, and in 1766, the British government was forced to repeal the act. However, the repeal of the Stamp Act did little to quell colonial discontent. The British government continued to pass laws that were seen as infringements on colonial rights, such as the Townshend Acts of 1767 and the Tea Act of 1773. These laws further alienated the colonists, and convinced them that the British government was intent on undermining their liberties. Economic grievances. Economic grievances also played a significant role in fueling colonial discontent. The British government's mercantilist policies, which restricted colonial trade and industry, were a major source of frustration. The colonists resented the fact that they were forced to purchase British goods at inflated prices, and that they were prohibited from trading with other countries. The British government's efforts to enforce its mercantilist policies led to a number of conflicts with the colonists. In 1768, British customs officials seized the ship Liberty in Boston Harbor for alleged smuggling. This incident sparked a riot in which several colonists were killed. The Boston Massacre, as it became known, further inflamed tensions between the colonists and the British government. Social grievances. In addition to political and economic grievances, social grievances also contributed to colonial discontent. The British government's policies often favored wealthy landowners and merchants at the expense of ordinary colonists. This led to a growing sense of resentment among the lower classes, who felt that they were being marginalized and exploited. The gap between the rich and the poor was particularly evident in the southern colonies, where a small number of wealthy planters controlled a large amount of land and political power. Ordinary farmers and laborers often lived in poverty, and had little opportunity for social or economic advancement. The prelude to rebellion in America was a complex and multifaceted period. It was marked by a growing sense of discontent among the colonists, fueled by political, economic, and social grievances. These grievances.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?